Genesis 7, once again, we see God's protection and provision for his people. We saw in verse 6 that there is this man named Noah, and even though everything around him was corrupt and broken and wicked, Noah was not caught up in all of that. He was close with God. He found favor with God. It was counted to him as righteousness. And now in chapter 7, we see the beginning of the flood. And in the first few verses, well, really, we're going to be looking at verse 13, but in verses like 10 through 12, it talks about how the earth basically erupts with water, that it rains for 40 days and 40 nights, that all the springs and underground water just erupts and covers the earth. And then verse 13 says, that very day, Noah had gone into the boat with his wife and his sons. It's like even when everything around you is about to explode and there is danger around every corner and you don't know what's going to happen, God still showed up, provided and protected Noah and his family. And it was because of Noah's obedience. We're going to see this later on as the story of Noah is told again, but like Noah got asked to do something absolutely ridiculous by God and build a boat for this flood, even though it had not rained in his entire lifetime. And yet it was his obedience, it was his closeness to God that found favor for him and his family, and then God's protection, that even when the chaos was surrounding him, God was showing up and providing. In that very day, the day that everything blew up all around him, he entered the boat and he was safe and protected. It does not mean that everything's always going to work out in our favor and that no harm will ever come to us. But what it means is that when we are obedient, when we trust in what God has asked us to do, he will always show up on our behalf. Do something to make today count. Lean in a little bit more. I'll see you for Genesis 8.